I wonder if the sorceress will even recognize me when I emerge from this dungeon, equipped as I am, armed as I am, and with all of this treasure. And all of these keys. I should definitely get rid of these keys by the time I leave. They won't be useful in any other dungeons. That said, this wouldn't be the first instance of that happening if it was true. I remember the stories of the bard Veracian the Fourth, who took a key from a dungeon that he was exploring. It was a old temple that kobolds had infested, and everybody laughed at him and his adventuring party because he was keeping this key, but there they were 1,000 miles away, 1,000 feet up in a mountainous cave, and in there was an ancient door, and wouldn't you know it, that key fitted the lock perfectly, and inside was treasure uncountable. The fact that everybody else died apart from the bard, I don't quite know why that was. The story gets a bit hazy, but some people suspect foul play. But I'm getting distracted. I should move on and continue exploring this floor, find more of those enemies and defeat them. That was weird. A strange tingling just went up my spine. Welcome back, folks, to Let's Play Dungeon Hack, and when last we left off, I've no idea what that sensation is. But maybe we'll find out at some point. There is a switch here, a hidden switch, and another teleporter. Oh boy, more teleporters. We'll be exploring all of them in time. That said, the enemies on this floor aren't really that dangerous because we are able to kill them sometimes in a single hit, other times in two. We'll open this door here. It's time to use all of those keys that we've been holding on to for all this time, and open all of these doors that will inevitably lead to nowhere in particular. What is this? That is a cloak. We don't need a cloak whatsoever. So this room was entirely pointless, apart from a magical cloak. Anything else in here? Well, there's over there that we can have a look at, but otherwise we're going to have to go into these teleporters. Maybe that teleporter links up to there. That would make sense, considering the fact that there are a lot more enemies in there now. I'll have to go in there at some point and find out anyway. Let's have a look in here. There is nothing in here, and prayer has expired. Do we have another casting of prayer that we can use? The answer is, let's see. No, we don't. Maybe we don't need prayer right now. We do, however, need to use this entirely useless key. I think we probably do need to rest, though, purely because True Seeing has now expired, and we need True Seeing. So we will rest, recuperate our spells, and then get ready to explore even more. Also, I still don't know what that does. This amulet is still a mystery. This amulet is also a mystery. They are all just a mystery. Alright, we will, ready up, I think. Negative plane protection. Why not, eh? You never know. The more difficult enemy of this floor might have the ability to drain levels. We'll also have that ready just in case. True Seeing. We'll have free action ready. There we go. And finally, prayer. I need to actually look at our experience because we haven't gained a level for quite a while. Let's see. We have a lot of experience. That is over 2 million experience. Maybe level 17 is the maximum that a half-elf cleric can reach. Maybe. Anything in here? The answer, no. Nothing in here at all. So we will head this way instead and see if there's anything up here. Well, there is an alcove with nothing in it. Maybe that was there purely to distract us so that we would get hit by some enemies. That has rarely happened here, though. Rarely happened, because we kill them so quickly they don't get a chance to attack us at all. Aha! Another key is gone. Not thrown, but used. Anything here? Maybe is the answer. There's an enemy there, and I turned away from you for some reason. That's okay, we were able to kill you just fine. 17 points of damage, the first time in a long time that we've actually been hit, and now we're nearly at full health. That should probably do. Any foes over here? We haven't found the more difficult enemy yet. That is true, we have not yet found that more dangerous foe. Maybe that more dangerous foe is over here. No, that more dangerous foe is not over there. What haven't we had a look at? We haven't looked down here, and we haven't looked there. Maybe these teleporters don't link up to each other. That's actually very unlikely, so we'll just have a quick look down here just in case there are any hidden switches, and I don't see any hidden switches, so we're going to have to go into those teleporters, aren't we? Yes, we are. Let's go to the one that's the closest first, purely because there are less enemies around it. That said, there being more enemies really doesn't make that much difference, because we are more than capable enough to take care of the enemies that we have encountered so far. The keyword, however, is so far. The enemy that is more difficult could still kill us. Okay, this is a dangerous room, or rather it would be a dangerous room were we not able to just slowly kill all of these enemies. That room was likely a lot more dangerous for a less melee-orientated class. That said, we aren't the most melee-orientated. That would be the fighter, or the paladin. We'll just do a little bit of healing, and move on. One casting of a healing spell, and we are good to go, and we are up here. Which is good, because that means we'll explore the other teleporter in a moment. Anything in here? Any enemies in here? That is a good question. There is nothing... Aha! That's a Slithermorph. You are the more difficult enemy of this level, a Slithermorph. Here is a chime. Okay, that chime could be a chime of opening. That also could be a chime of hunger. Do I want to take the risk that this is a chime of opening? It doesn't look like a chime of opening, but it could be. Also, here are the stairs down, so we have found the way that we can go to get down to the next floor. I am tempted, however, to go and try and use those chimes, even though they're likely to be the chimes of nearly killing us. Let's go back in here and have a quick look and see if there is... Did this close behind us? I think it did. Have a look and see if there is anything of particular importance in the area that I haven't yet explored. It shouldn't be too difficult to get back to the stairs up, and then to the stairs up on the floor above us. It's worth a try. The worst thing that could happen is that they don't do what I want them to do. The other kind of chime in this game is the chime of hunger. And the chime of hunger does pretty much what it sounds like it does, and that is that it drains nearly all of your hunger bar. Fortunately, we can deal with that. We'll just take care of all of these enemies that came from the area with the teleporter, or nearby, and then we'll enter that teleporter. And we'll see if we can figure out what is beyond. This is actually not the room of the teleporter. The room of the teleporter is actually over, yes, the way where the enemies were coming from. That makes sense. That was silly of me to walk right past all of those enemies. Let's just have a quick look in here, shall we? Hello, you. Goodbye, you. 3 points of damage. Don't really care about that. In here is a small location with an ogre slug. And not much else, it would seem. There is a scroll, which is a journal page. We'll give that a read. It is common knowledge that a wraith is immune to normal weapons, and even though we know how to deal with wraiths, so that's really not a problem. We just need to use magical weapons, and we know that they level drain. Ah, here's where we use that emerald. I don't think we've seen that lock before. What is in here that is worth all of this exploration? The answer, likely nothing important, but there may be something good. Nope, absolutely nothing good at all. Let us camp and rest, and then we're quickly going to detour back to see if these chimes work. Actually, there's a very easy way to check this, and that is to use them right now. Let's just use them right now and see what happens. Actually, let's have True Seeing cast first, shall we? They are magical. They are not cursed, so that may in fact be a chime of opening. It could be. It certainly, if it was cursed, it would have a red colour rather than blue here. Perhaps they are chimes of opening. It would be weird, because the chimes of opening we saw before looked very different. I'll give it a go. I mean, the worst thing that could happen is that, it does nothing. Let's just, do we have everything cast that we want to have cast? I think we do. Do we have negative plane protection? We definitely have... No, we don't! We really, really want that ready if we're going to be going back up to the floor with all the enemies that can drain our levels. We don't want to lose one of these levels, not after spending all of this time killing enemies to gain them. We'll just ignore you, the enemy that was behind us, and defeat you and move on. We want to head, let's see, that way, and around and up. It shouldn't take too long to get back there. It really shouldn't. It'll definitely be worth it if we find the way to open that door, and it's this. Although that said, it probably isn't going to be. Or maybe it is. Who knows? It's all worth trying. And this is when we die because we can't eat food while we are underwater. That said, the spell doesn't require us to need to eat food. It just magically replenishes our food. Although it only creates food and water, it doesn't instantly fill your stomach up magically. So, maybe we will die if we decide to try and create food and water underwater. Then again, creating water probably isn't something we really need to worry about, because there's loads of water, unless it's salt water. We don't want to be drinking salt water. Have we gone the wrong way? Yes, we have. We have gone the wrong way. Let's quickly go this way, Seledran, and do some backtracking. These chimes look remarkably like the ones that I had before, but they are different. That said, not all magical items look exactly the same. I have seen magical wands made of many different materials that have many different uses, and I've also seen them that have exactly the same uses. It all depends on the creator of the item. It shouldn't be too difficult to get back to where I was. A little bit of backtracking, but it is worth it. Let's go, shall we? I don't see any enemies at all on this floor. Have none of them respawned? I mean, that's very useful if that's the case. Let's just quickly not bump into there and see how far I can get before I need to have a look at the map. Probably a lot. That turned us around, didn't it? Maybe it did, maybe it didn't, or maybe I turned myself around. Either way, we are getting quite a lot closer. Making a fair bit of headway. We need to go this way, and that turns us around. That definitely turned us around there. Yes, that turned us around. Let's just do that, and this, and then go that way. The game was being sneaky, and I kept falling for it, even though I was saying, hey, this is turning me around, and then Seledran just kept being turned around. That tingling feeling keeps happening. Alright, which way do we want to go? We want to go this way. Up there just leads to absolutely nowhere of any importance at all. Maybe the enemies have just given up respawning. They look at Seledran and go, you know what, there's really no point. We'll just die. Why don't we just let Seledran go past? It's not gonna hurt. We'll just respawn later for the next adventurer. That said, if he says that this place has been completely cleared out, no adventurers will ever come ever again. That's a brilliant idea. Well, why don't we just wait and let him explore everywhere, take everything he wants, and then we'll just carry on with our evil schemes, whatever they are. We don't actually know of any evil schemes that are going on here at all. All we know is that the sorceress wants an item, and we're going to get it. Admittedly, all the creatures that we found have tried to kill us, and quite a lot of them are undead, or things that generally would go around killing anyone that they encounter. Alright, we are now here. It's going to take a little bit of a walk to get back to that area with that door, but it's worth it, because this could be the way that we open up this way and explore. Failing that, it very much might not be, which would be a shame, but it would not be the first time that has happened. That leads to nowhere, so we want to go this way. And down here, there are no enemies here either, they just haven't respawned. Are we heading in the right direction? The answer is likely, let's see, yes, yes we are actually. We are heading in exactly the right direction. We definitely want to have create food and water cast on us before we use those chimes, just in case they do something horrible. I actually feel like saving just in case they do something absolutely horrible, because they may. Alright. That is a sound that I have not heard before. That said, we don't actually have another create food and water ready. Let's rest, shall we? Let's rest and get all those create food and waters back. And then we'll buff, and then we will fight whatever enemy is on the other side of this door. That is, if we can actually open the door. We go all the way here, and the spell dissipates harmlessly into the ether. Ah, that's because I cast the wrong spell, isn't it? Yes, it is. I hope I didn't need that spell. And then we needed that spell, and Seledran was doomed! I'm sure Seledran will be fine. Let us cast prayer here, and let us save, because this could go one of two ways. It's either going to go brilliantly well, or it's going to go brilliantly terribly. Let's have a look. Yep, that is exactly what I thought would happen. We are suddenly absolutely famished. That was not a good item. That did exactly what I didn't want it to do. It was worth a try, just in case the game went, hey, we'll give you a different magical item. That is exactly the same item, but it just looks different. But that just confirms that items that are the same always look the same. And in that instance, that was something we didn't want to use at all. Because we lost practically all of... Also, we could just do that, couldn't we? That actually will make our journey that much faster. Why didn't I open that before? Well, we definitely can't get into that area. It was worth checking, just in case we could, but we couldn't. They were chimes of hunger. And what chimes of hunger do is exactly what it sounds like. They just made Seledran famished. For a brief moment, I felt like my stomach was complaining bitterly, like I hadn't eaten in weeks, but fortunately I had magic to deal with that. I could only imagine the plight of somebody that didn't have magic to deal with that. They might have died there. That would have been terrible. That would indeed have been terrible if you'd used all of your food, and that was the first set of chimes you ever encountered. Because even though they have a negative effect, they didn't appear as cursed items when we were looking at the true seeing. So that was what made me think maybe they're decent. But no, not decent at all. Actually kind of terrible. So we need to go that way, don't we? We're actually very close to the stairs down. It really didn't take that long to detour this way. It was worth doing. But in the end not worth doing because we didn't get anywhere. And we have been turned around. This is what happens quite a bit. But this time, we figured it out quite quickly. And we are now heading this way. Down here, over here, and we are pretty close to those stairs. Very close indeed. In fact, there are those stairs. Let us go down once more. We have a lot of spare slots in our inventory now. That said, we also have a lot of keys in our inventory. Let's just have a look and, yep, we can just find those stairs there and head down. That seems like a good idea. We have explored everywhere here. So we will just head down immediately. There are some enemies. I don't need to worry about them, though. They're only enemies that are exceptionally easy to defeat. But hey, more experience can't hurt, right? Maybe if we accidentally rest in an area where we'd lose experience, we then could recoup that by fighting these enemies here, on our way back to the stairs down. Okay. Alright, I'm nearly back to where I was. Shouldn't take too long. I'm surprised that I'm able to remember this so clearly. I only need to consult the map a little bit. Ah, there's one enemy there, and now there isn't. Let's just check the map here. Am I going the right way? I am going the right way. I want to go to that teleporter, I believe. We do want to go to that teleporter, which means going this way not there because there is nothing, and going this way, up here, in this direction. And then we will head to the next floor. We may actually go a little bit onto that floor. Or maybe we won't. Hello, you. Goodbye, you. You are now gone. We'll go into here. There are more enemies in here, though. There are more enemies. We do need to be careful. Even though they tend not to hit that hard, we do need to be careful. So we are now here. That will bring us to this area. And over here, by that, are the stairs that lead down to the next floor. The next floor, the penultimate floor. For once we go down to the next floor and clear that out, there will only be one more floor for us to face. But that will be for next time, folks, as when we come back, the 17th floor of this dungeon. What mysteries will it contain? What enemies will it contain? There is only one way to find out, and that is to go down there. But first, we'll do a little bit of buffing with spells, because you never know. It could be terrible down there. It could be dragons and demons. We haven't actually encountered any demons yet. Or any dragons. Give it time, though. There are still 2 more floors that we can go down into. And one of them, I'm sure, will be terrible. So I'll catch you next time, folks. And I'll see you then. Later. It feels like I'm so close to my goal, and yet I'm so far away. I hope that I can find that orb. I hope the orb is actually here. I hope the sorceress's magic wasn't diverted by some ancient wards or something else that meant that she sent me to completely the wrong dungeon. I hope that's not the case. But either way, I found lots of treasure. I'm going to need something to carry all of it at the end. I wonder what I could use. Later.